Hi, I here. This is a reading for the sign of Scorpio. So we're going to do a Celtic Cross spread with the Thoth deck, and then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Shadow deck. So let's just see what happens. Alright, Scorpio. Scorpio. How are all you Scorpios out there doing? Or maybe people looking in on Scorpios, whatever floats your boat. See if we can get a nice message for the sign of Scorpio. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. Or maybe it's early and you're going to have an awesome day going forward. Either way, I hope it is awesome. We always want everything to be awesome, so to speak. Alright, we got Scorpio. Scorpio coming up right here. What can you tell me about what is coming up for Scorpio? Alright. Alright. Let's see what we get. We get a Princess of Cups. Okay. Followed by a 7 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 6 of Swords. The 4 of Swords. The 5 of Discs. The 3 of Discs. The Princess of Discs. The Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Cups. Okay. Interesting. So we'll see what is on the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming in a minute after we look at what we have here. We've got just one major arcana, and that is the Wheel of Fortune. And that's in the past. So, fortune is opening up some new cycle for you, some new opportunity. It has been wheeling into motion, and it has brought us to the present moment where we have the Queen of Cups. Or excuse me, the Queen of Cups, the Princess of Cups. The Queen of Cups is over there at the end. So in the present, we have the Princess of Cups. Okay, so this is the equivalent of a page in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And so the Page of Cups, or the Princess of Cups, is usually seen holding some sort of cup with some new creature coming out of it. So you've got some new opportunity, some fortune, something wheeling into your life, and maybe it's a person, or maybe this is you. Maybe you were presented with something that you are now going to creatively put into the world, some new inspiration. Maybe you're in a position where you are going to be, maybe you're an artist or something, and you've got some sort of new creative project you're going to work on, or maybe you in your work are going to be inspired for some new kind of creative opportunity. Maybe some new opportunity is wheeled into your life, and you're maybe thinking about how to creatively capitalize on this opportunity. And you're crossed by the 7 of Wands, which I usually think of as being the card where you got to stick to your guns and stand up for what you believe in, and you should be successful. That's not the card of success, but it's the card of defending the success that you have. So I would assume in giving what you have here, we've got a new opportunity that's wheeled its way in to inspire us or someone around us. Maybe you're a teacher and you're inspiring the people around you to, do new projects or something. Something is being brought in with new opportunity to inspire a task that needs to be defended. Maybe it is not something that is clearly going to work. And in the future, you're going to have to test with your mind whether or not this thing really does hold up to scrutiny. So you've got an opportunity wheeling itself in. It feels very invigorating and exciting. It's something inspiring, but maybe it's not holding up to the light of day in the way that you want it to. And so you're going to have to really be careful about how strong this thing is and how it's going to last. An opportunity is just an opportunity. A success comes from taking that opportunity and making it work. And making something work comes from trial and error and testing and making sure that it really holds up to the scrutiny of how much you really think it. Like, you might think something's very special and awesome and great and this is going to change the world, but maybe you have to reevaluate and make sure that the way that you are putting this out there is going to take it to the place that you want to take it to. Okay. And down here in your subconscious energy, we have the Four of Swords, which is sort of sitting back and resting and, contemplating where you're at and taking a rest from all of the strife around you and sort of taking note of maybe where you want to go next with this idea. So you've got something, you're holding on to it. To me, it's feeling like you were inspired by some great idea that is not really, either people around you are not buying into it, or maybe you yourself are a little in your subconscious are a little worried that it's not quite going to last. And maybe rather than making this thing real, you're holding on to the idea internally and trying to decide what you're going to do with it, or opportunity, idea, whatever this thing is that the Princess of Cups has brought into your life, or again, maybe you're the Princess of Cups, and whatever is in your cup, whatever sea creature you've got there is, you have to decide what you're going to do with it. So maybe you're keeping it safe, you're keeping it controlled and protected for now because you're not sure that if you let it out, if it's really going to be able to last and sustain itself in the way that you hope. And up here at the top, we have the Five of Discs, which is usually the card of, normally this is depicted as several people sitting out in the cold being left out. And maybe that's your fear, is that whatever this idea is, it means something very powerful to you, but you don't think it's going to be as important or powerful to the people around you. So that's why I think you're being crossed by this card here. You need to stand your ground and really hold on to what you believe in, and you're worried that it's not going to hold up to that scrutiny. And maybe if it's some kind of work project or something financially related, you're realizing that it's maybe not going to bring you the financial stability that you want, and maybe it's going to put you at a tough spot. Now, the Five of Disc is usually a temporary setback. It's not a long-term, I'm never going to make this work kind of energy. It's just that, like, you're maybe going to have to go through some tough times if you really believe in this thing and you want to make it a reality. So you're sitting back, kind of taking stock of how it feels inside, and you're scrutinizing. And in the future, if you want it to work, you're going to have to keep scrutinizing this idea and maybe refining it to make it something stronger and better that you can do in the future. Um, Another way to also think about the Six of Swords is it's going on some sort of journey, taking your idea in a new direction, and taking the lessons you've learned and pushing them forward. Again, this is another reason why it's the Science card. Is as you're scrutinizing your ideas and realizing what does and doesn't work, you then are going to push forward by using the swords and the sort of chopping up of the idea that you had, and figuring out a way to refine it and make it better and push it forward into the world. So you've got some new wild inspiration. It's probably a little chaotic, and it's something that can go someplace, but you are going to have to defend that idea because it's not quite in a form that's ready to be put out there. So sit back, think about it, realize that you're going to have to go through some trials and tribulations to refine this and make it better. But I mean, all good ideas have to be developed, right? You don't just take some dough out of wherever you're getting your dough from and just serve it to someone as a loaf of bread, right? You've got to actually learn to bake it and refine that process until you can make something really good that's going to nourish you and everyone else around you. And here we have the Three of Discs. This is usually this card of collaboration. So maybe that's also part of what you're worried about, is who are you going to work on this with? If you're going to build this into something new, you're going to make whatever this inspiration is into something. This is the card that is giving you the sort of idea of, we're going to have to make a plan here. This idea unrefined is going to be great and awesome and inspiring, but if you're really going to defend it and make it something better, you're going to have to keep prodding and poking it and figuring out, how do I make this stronger? And sometimes that's going to hurt. That's that Five of Discs up there. When you're prodding and poking this idea, you might poke some holes in it, and it might not look the same way it did when you first made it. But again, as you refine it, you'll make something stronger, and you can build something longer and lasting out of this, right? You can take your two-dimensional idea, your triangle here, and you can pull it up into a tetrahedron through the refinement and precision of looking at this thing, really looking at this thing critically and understanding what you need to do to make it better. And I think this is what the Princess of Disc is also providing in our environment, or what needs to happen next is, if you want to build this idea, you're setting a plan down on how to make this thing grow vertically, and you are going to have to take your passion, this idea, this creative idea, and you're going to have to get down and dirty and actually start making it happen. Put it out there. It may not look the way you like. I mean, when you first do something that you feel really strongly about, even if you know it's going to be successful, when you first put it out there, it's not going to feel as great as you hoped it would be. But through, uh, refining that through work and diligence and some kind of structure and just, again, refinement, get better at what it is that you're doing and make it a better product, then you can build off of this plan, and you can get beyond that worry to make something that's a little bit stronger. But again, it may not look exactly like you originally planned, and maybe that's what the Queen of Swords is here. This is what we don't want. This is what we're sort of afraid of, and maybe the Queen of Swords is here to tell us again that whatever this idea was, it's not quite in the form it needs to be built into what you want it to be. So you're going to have to use your mind. You're going to have to use your thoughts. You can do it in a nurturing way. Don't let it just bring you to ruin by poking holes into it until it's just no longer the thing you want to make anymore. But, understand that in order for this thing to grow into something better, you're going to have to cut off the undesirable parts of it, trim the fat, so to speak, and make this into something more precise and better that is going to then take that Princess of Cups to the Queen of Cups. And so that creative idea that started off as sort of just a new inspirational project becomes something that is now much more mature and refined and sustainable. You no longer just have this little tiny teacup with a little creature in it. You've got the full Queen of Cups here, who is going to, you can see her there where she's like almost filling up this entire lake. Her cup is like a whole, a whole body of water here that is much more sustainable and much more, it's bigger, right? It's better. And that comes from the work, the trials of cutting through the nasty parts and figuring out what doesn't work and figuring out how to make better what is going to work. So that's, I think, what's happening here. You've got a new inspiration. It sounds great on paper. You want to build something with it. You got a nice idea, but that idea is only going to come to fruition if you are refining it and actually critically looking at it. Do so in a nurturing way. Don't be overly critical to the point where you are going to not want to even make this thing happen, or you make it so far away from what you would envision that it's no longer bringing you the joy that it once did. Hold on to that core idea. Don't lose sight of that childlike energy of the Princess of Cups, but put the work in, put the effort in to refine it and critically and analyze this thing so that it can become something beautiful that the Queen of Cups can present into the world. So that's what I'm getting from here. Okay, so let's see what we do not see coming. Oh, look at that. The Eight of Wands. Speed, swiftness. It's going to come fast. So, I don't know. Maybe this inspiration hasn't come to you yet. Maybe you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut and you need something new that's going to help you crawl out of wherever you're stuck. And it's going to come at you fast. Maybe it's going to come at you sort of chaotically, too. Maybe you're going to realize you got to do something and you're not quite sure how or what it is that you need to do. So the Wheel of Fortune is going to spin and bring you something new, some new inspiration that you know is going to be something that's going to take you to the next level, some idea that you feel strongly about that you're going to have to defend. But don't be afraid to be critical. Don't be afraid to be self-critical so that you can make it a stronger, better project. Take the creative, inspiring energy of the Princess of Cups and take the practical, grounded energy of the Princess of Discs, work together with the Queen of Swords to refine that idea and build it into something that is emotionally fulfilling that you can then take and nurture others with, possibly. So it's going to come fast. It's going to be difficult and chaotic. So use all that wind, air, sword energy to cut off the parts that are not refined and make them stronger so you can build something better. That's what I'm getting out of here. So Okay, let's see what the shadow deck is going to tell us. Let's see maybe how we feel about this, or what is going to happen sort of under the hood, is how I like to think about it. Right? Everything in the Thoth deck I like to think of as being what is out and open in your present life, and this is sort of what's maybe going on more on your emotional or energetic side. This is going to be getting a little bit closer to how you feel about things, or sort of how all of it pieces together in the in-between, in the dark, or I don't know. However you want to think about it. It's the shadow, right? We did the light, and let's do the shadow. Okay, so we are going to shuffle this deck here and pull 3 cards from it. Let's see what we get. I hope you're doing well, Scorpio. I hope you're not feeling too stuck or discouraged. Whatever this project is, I hope it goes well for you. It's not guaranteed that it will. There's nothing here saying this will succeed, but it's saying that whatever you are working on, make it better. Take the time to make it better. And even if it's not successful, hopefully you'll at least get to a place where you have learned a lesson from the situation that you were in, rather than continuing to feel stuck. That's what I would say. Okay, so let's see what the shadow deck has for us. We're going to pull 3 cards and just see what they tell us, and then we'll see what's on the other end of the deck to wrap it all up. So we got the 2 of Swords. We have the Queen of Swords, a lot more air energy here. And we have the 4 of Swords. A lot of air energy. Okay, so 2, Queen, 4. So again, we have the 4 of Swords is this sort of resting period. This it's usually depicted in the Rider-Waite as looking like a tomb. You know, somebody who has come out of battle and they are resting and reflecting and recovering from the things that have led them to that point. The 2 is being stuck in some decision where neither option is really the desirable option. So maybe I think you're stuck. I think you're in a place where you feel stuck and you don't know what you want to do. You're maybe not necessarily poor off, like things may be stable, but like you're not happy and you want something new to come into your life that's going to take you to some new exciting place. And so, yeah, that's what this is all about, is whatever it is that's inspiring you to sort of get up and go and do something new, you need to figure out the right way to do it. You need to refine it and not just, like, throw yourself at the situation and hope it's going to work. No, this is a situation where you need to sit down and make a plan and figure out how it's going to work. Now, it doesn't seem like any option presently available to is the best, and maybe you almost need to sit back and wait and take this time, this 4 of Swords moment, to reflect on what's going on and let your thoughts help guide you, rather than, you know, pushing your thoughts away and trying to have a clear, open mind about things. I think you need to actually be critical, self-critical. You need to take your, again, we have the Queen of Swords again. You need to be self-critical in a positive way. Don't be beating yourself up or making yourself feel bad, but take the time to think about what it is that's got you stuck, or whatever it is that you want to go to, and use your mind to reflect upon the good and the bad parts. I mean, to me, it almost seems like you need to do a little bit of shadow work here. You need to just look at the sort of darker side of yourself and figure out how you can trim that in a nice way, so that the creative, positive energy that's fueling you can fuel you in the right direction and send you where you need to go. Again, we want a Queen of Swords. We don't want a King of Swords that's going to just tell you the cold, hard facts. We want someone that's going to be straight with us and honest. Make it yourself. Be honest with yourself. But do it in a way that is going to help you feel encouraged and inspired to move on and build a better version of your life. That's what I'm saying. So, what do we not see coming in the shadow deck? We've got the 3 of Swords. Look at that. More air energy. We got a 2, 3, 4 Queen. That's interesting. So the 3 of Swords, not great. Again, I think you need to do some shadow work. Look at that person chopping himself right through the center with the swords, really reflecting on the negative past experiences that you've been through and not using them so much to keep you held back down, but using that self-reflection to look into what is keeping you held back and understanding what inside of you is keeping you from doing the things that are going to make you happy. you've got fortune favoring you. It looks like you've got opportunities to make things better in your life. Um, you want to put something out there or be a part of something that is going to be beautiful, and you're going to have to defend it because it's not going to hold up to scrutiny as is. But if you sit and you do the reflective work to figure out what is wrong with what is currently happening and how to make it stronger and do better with it, um, again, success is not guaranteed, but I don't know that this is a story necessarily about making something that needs to be successful. This is a story, I think, about rebuilding yourself and looking inward and understanding why you are not feeling the joy that you want to feel. I think you feel something better is on the horizon. That Princess of Cups is there to make you feel inspired and creative and do something good. But I think you're stuck. I think you need to get unstuck, and I think that unstuck comes from the inside, not from the outside. So use your thoughts to reflect on where you are and where you want to go, and start making a plan for how to fix the things that you're not happy with. And I think that's going to bring you into a more emotionally happy place. Even if you're happy enough in the moment, you want to move from the princess to the queen. You want to get to that real happy. And you might even be able to pull yourself up to a nine of cups kind of moment. Maybe that's the queen will guide you to that cloud nine moment that you're really feeling like you deserve but don't have right now. And I think you realize that where that's going to come from is from self-reflection and understanding what you need to do to yourself or with yourself or for yourself to get to that next level that's going to make you feel better about where you're at. So not the ultimate most happy reading here, but I think it's an encouraging way to handle whatever it is that you're dealing with, and I hope you get through that. I hope things get better and you are able to find that Queen of Cups moment. So just keep at it, keep working, keep being realistic. Don't be self-destructive in your thoughts, but definitely reflect and grow from your past pains. Let them fuel you and make you into something better. You're the project here, I think, and you can be the best version of yourself if you take the time to reflect and reevaluate and reassess and put forward yourself in a better version than you have been. And I think you'll be happier. So I hope this was helpful. Again, I hope the best for you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.